Aha, the OCZ ModXStream. So this is a 700 watt power supply. It's available in a couple different capacities. Used to be a 400 watt version even, but there are 500 watt, 600 watt, and 700 watt versions. This is one of the most popular power supplies out there right now. So let's go through a quick rundown of this particular unit. First of all, it is powerful. 700 watts, excellent, thank you. Then it is ultra efficient, so this is an 80 plus certified power supply with a 135 millimeter fan, active PFC, and an easy mod cable management system. We'll have a close look at that when we open it up. It includes a 3-year OCZ warranty, which is legendary, and it also has NVIDIA SLI stamp of approval on it. So that pretty much covers everything they tell us on the front of it. First of all, actually, well, there are a couple things on the back, and I'll read those out while I'm breaking all of the seals on this, because it's quite well packed in here, and I'm gonna have a, oh, ow, that explains it. I'm using the blunt edge of my knife to cut while I have my finger on the sharp edge. That could have turned out very, very badly, but at least it would have been on video, so it would have been very exciting. Okay, so the power consumption is less than or equal to 1 watt in off mode and in standby mode, so that has some kind of a little green leaf next to that sticker, so I guess that's relevant somehow. And then there is also, oh, that's kind of cool, so it's tested at ultra high temperatures, 40 degrees centigrade, versus a lot of other power supplies which are actually rated at unrealistically low temperatures so that they can inflate the rated wattages. Okay, so that's a pretty good thing to know. And then what else? There was something else on the back that I wanted to tell you a lot about before I go ahead and open this. What did they have? Multi-GPU ready. Okay, we already know that. No, that was pretty much it. Okay, so let's get this thing open and let's get kind of angled down and zoomed in. I have no cameraman on this fine day. That's okay. So the first thing we will find is a user's manual, which is in English, Dutch, Espanol, Francais, Italiano, Netherlands. Okay, a bunch of stuff I really don't know how to pronounce anymore. And that tells you just the basics, installation and troubleshooting. Thank you. All right, then next we will find the power supply. There's not a whole lot in here in terms of accessories. I mean, these are a very great value. I can go ahead and I can say that. So you can't really expect the whole 9 yards in terms of accessories, but here's the little box that holds all of the cables. Here is your power cable. This is a pretty wussy looking power cable, but realistically it's all you'll need for a 700 watt power supply and a computer running off of it. This I really like. It comes with a nice little mesh bag. This looks kind of like a pencil bag. It includes your modular cables, and it also includes 4 screws for mounting the power supply. Thank you for that. Let's have a look at the power supply itself, and then we'll have a look at the modular cables. Quite a nice looking unit, actually, right off the bat here. So you've got your ModXStream label on the side here. It's 700 watts. You got that. That's that little green leaf sticker I was talking about before. So here's all of your testing stickers showing that it did pass all of its testing. If yours doesn't have these, maybe let OCZ know. On the back, you'll find your fairly standard honeycomb grill, and then you've got a power switch as well as a power plug input. Here we will find the rail breakdown for this unit. So this is a dual 12-volt rail power supply, and you've got 25 amps on each rail. They are capable of providing 552 watts of the total 700 watts that this power supply can provide. There's your 80 plus logo, as well as all of your safety certifications. On the front, you will find the modular interface as well as the cables that are included by default. So these two look like they're going to be for PCI Express, while these two are black, so these are red, PCI Express. These black ones look like they're going to be for Molex and SATA. So let's see what's actually included on this power supply. OCZ has gone with a fairly modular interface. I've actually seen a lot of modular power supplies that include a 24 pin, an 8 pin, a couple PCI Express, Molex and SATA cables, all hardwired to the power supply, and then they have like 2 modular plugs on them. I think that's just kind of ridiculous. So here we go. We've got a 24 pin power connector hardwired. Then also hardwired, we have our 8-pin power and our 4-pin power. So you'll either use this one or this one. I'm not a big fan of that, just because then you're stuck with cables that you might not even well, you pretty much won't be using unless you're powering like an EVGA board that requires both a 4-pin and an 8-pin. So that's okay. In terms of modular cables, these don't look very long, do they? Actually, all of these cables are pretty short on this particular unit. That's not that long at all. I mean, it should be fine as long as your power supply is mounted in the top of your case, or as long as you don't have to go around a lot of obstacles to mount to get the cables up to your motherboard. So why don't we get this kind of zoomed back out? Oh, I went the wrong way. Hold on, bear with me here. Sorry about that. Okay, modular cables. So here is your PCI Express 8-pin connector. So it plugs in, or this is a 6-pin, pardon me. So this plugs into the power supply. That's 8 pins, but there are 2 empty ones. See? Just like that. So that's a 6-pin connector. And then the other one actually makes use of all 8 pins, and you can see that it has a 6 plus 2-pin connector on the other end. All right, then the other modular cables are, they don't give you many options with this one. I like modular power supplies that include extra cables, so they'll include like 3 Molex and 3 SATA, even though there's only 4 modular plugs. So if you have a very hard drive heavy build or a very other accessory heavy build, you can kind of go one way or the other, but it doesn't really defeat the purpose because it still allows you to just not plug in the cables that you don't need, even if they're only including exactly what would be attached to the power supply anyway. That was very long and very rambly, but that's okay. So we've got 2 Molex cables, each of which has 2 Molex connectors on it and 1 floppy connector. These are, again, fairly short, but it should be fine, like I said, once again, if you are using a fairly small case and you have a top-mounted power supply. So you can see it's got about that kind of length on it. Then the same length again, we have 2 SATA cables, and each of which has 3 SATA connectors. So you can connect a total of 6 SATA power supplies, 6 SATA hard drives to this power supply without any kind of adapters or anything else. Thank you for checking out my unboxing of the OCZ ModXStream Pro 700 watt modular power.